What's up, I'm Nellie. This week I learned 5 songs by Carrie Underwood, and now I've written a song that I would pitch to her if I was on her songwriting team. The song is called Another Reason, and there's going to be a pretty lengthy explanation at the end because I don't know where this one came from. Anyways, here we go. Out past Dakota at the Baptist home, I was 8 years old, all alone, born to 2 wayward souls who didn't want me around. One day a boy just like me, nowhere to call home, no family, told me a story neath the cottonwood tree, and it still haunts me now. He said my daddy took my mama's life, Jesus called her home that night, but he left me here, guess I had more to do. I thought I'd never make it through, I could keep fighting, but what's the use? Surely now my life is lost all meaning. Then a little voice inside my head said, keep going, you ain't done yet. And when I thought I'd never find one to keep breathing, God gave me another reason. 18 and all alone again, I was more lost than I'd ever been, making my living off a lonely man, till one day I was done. Just couldn't take it anymore, thought I had nothing worth living for, dumped those pills out on the floor and took them one by one. I laid there thinking about my life, and that little boy came across my mind, and I was so ashamed of what I was about to do. I thought I'd never make it through, I could keep fighting, but what's the use? Surely now my life has lost all meaning. Then a little voice inside my head said, keep going, you ain't done yet. And when I thought I'd never find one to keep breathing, God gave me another reason. Somehow I survived that night, and I went to church for the very first time. Amazing grace and 2 pink lines told me I would never be alone. And the day I brought her home, I said, baby girl, we're gonna make it through. I promise that I'll never leave you. Came along and gave my life new meaning. I'm so thankful for that voice that said, keep on going, you ain't done yet. And for every moment that I'm still here breathing, 'cause God gave me another reason. First things first, Dakota is where Carrie Underwood was born. I'm pretty sure. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Baptist Home is like a well-known orphanage around that area. I wanted to bring in actual details of the artist herself because I feel like that makes it a little bit more authentic. Plus, it gave me ideas to spin off of. Obviously, we start off with a little girl in an orphanage because her parents decided they didn't want her anymore. She meets this little boy and she's so excited because she has somebody to relate to, but then she realizes that this little boy has had a lot more trauma in his life than she could ever even imagine. And then there's a little bit of a reference about his faith, so that is a little foreshadowing to the rest of the story. So later in the song, when she ages out of the system at 18, having never been adopted, and is doing what she can to survive and feels like her life has no meaning, she remembers the little boy and all that he went through and that he survived and somehow made it through all of that. She thinks, I'm ashamed. And he says, I guess that I had more to do. The idea is he had to stick around in order for her to remember that little boy survived all that he had been through, and now I'm about to take my life without even giving it a fair fight. You can kind of get the impression that all her life, all she's ever wanted is to not feel alone anymore. Survives her attempt at taking her own life, and she decides to go to church for the first time because of the little boy talking about his faith, and she thinks, well, if that got him through, maybe it'll get me through. So she starts going to church. She also finds out that she's pregnant, and so she realizes, I'm never going to be alone again now that I've found God and I have this little baby to take care of, and I am not going to repeat history. I'm going to take care of this little baby. I'm never going to leave her. And that's the end of the song. I personally was not raised very religious, but I do think that there is a lot of beauty to be found in religion. So it was really easy to tap into that for me. And obviously, Carrie Underwood is very open about her faith. So I wanted to incorporate that. And that's a wrap. I will see you next week.